This is a tour of the Illinois State Fairgrounds using the site planner Fairs Management Interactive, or better known as FAIRS MI. Our system processes outdoor aerial maps for the client fair as fast-loading, high-resolution, high-accuracy scaling backgrounds for the event coordinators to position the various event inventory items on site. We provide a starter list of close-up areas of the grounds, but the client can request additional special use close-ups of the areas at any time at no cost. Laying out maps is easy with just a computer mouse click, glide, or a keyboard entry. You can lay out an event using simple plain rectangles and circles. Some fairs do, and then color code and label them. But we also provide a menu of icons and symbols that can be substituted partially or completely for those plain squares and circles. But whether it's a plain white square or an icon of a tent, ride, or piece of equipment, each object can be moved, rotated, resized, labeled, and be included in an automatically generated exhibitor list and booth inventory. In most cases, your computer mouse can manually control the layout edits, and keyboard entry is always available for precise increments. You can even move an object 1 inch with a keyboard entry. Navigating around the grounds from one area to another is very straightforward. Rotate your mouse wheel back and forth to zoom in and out, and right-click and move your mouse to pan around. Let's look at the same layout, but only substituting icons for the plain circles and squares. Some of the symbols and objects you see on the list on the left have been contributed by clients. This is because if you don't see a symbol you need, you can request it, and within 24 to 48 hours it will appear and be available on your icon drop-down list. Some icons suggested by clients are so useful that they end up being loaded onto everyone's list. Here you can see we've assigned the vendor this food wagon icon. And here's an example of using labels instead of numbers. And in that exhibitor data control section on the lower left, we've also submitted and automatically included the entry to the master exhibitor spreadsheet. Icons are able to be edited the same as regular booths. Some icons, like tents, are often adjusted to different dimensions. And with icons, the viewer can immediately recognize details about the midway that may not be identifiable with just squares and circles. Last-minute changes on the fairgrounds are easy to document and communicate to team members. And great for your setup crew and fire marshal, there's even an icon to mark and measure the clearance distance between objects. You can choose to separate your different categories of event objects into separate layers. Each layer can be visible or hidden. This is a great way to provide setup crews or other teams just the details they need for their individual assignments. And it can work in reverse. Multiple event coordinators can use layers to combine their work into a single master site plan. Let's take a look at the San Diego Fair. They use very few icons, but check out the long list of layers that they've put in. The ability to include such a complete list of all the setups on the midway ensures the most complete and accurate space planning. One powerful feature using layers that needs a little more detail: each year after fair time, San Diego provides a drone shot of the fairgrounds. It becomes a layer too that coordinators use as a temporary guide and reference to update the next year's fair. And looking at our client for the last 15 years, the Canadian National Exhibition, they choose to use lots of icons and only one layer for their setups. Coordinators and fair managers have a choice of strategies and can choose the one best suited for their workflow and operations. All the tools work the same for exhibition halls, with the exception of one tool that allows the coordinator to lay out and automatically number an entire hall in seconds. Just specify the booth and aisle information and the numbering system. Then start cutting out booths for aisles, doorways, or nudging booths to position on walls. When your layout is ready to assign exhibitor space, use the booth data tool for the vendor name and product information. Click Report anytime for the current inventory list. Here we see the normal booth editing, resizing, rotating, labeling, color coding, but in addition to traditional edits on booths in exhibit halls, icons can be used here too. Services, displays, registration areas can accurately be mapped on the show floor, ensuring an accurate fit for all the elements used for an event. And here is an example of icons used to define the layout for a dining area. Next, we use our equipment icons to create an accurately sized farm equipment display. Registration areas, entrance displays, when planned along with booth layouts, make sure your attendee traffic flows strategically. More than just an event planner, Fairs MI Tools manages renovation planning. Here the client sent us a proposed building design. We reproduced them as an icon, and he can now plan ahead for future constructions using our planner. Another non-event fairground responsibility may be documenting RV campgrounds. And there are many other site management tools to show off, but please contact us with any questions, requests, or feedback, and thank you for watching.